You've probably tried it before, writing down goals, visualizing your dream house, repeating affirmations like "I am abundant" or "money flows to me." Maybe you even created a vision board or practiced gratitude each morning. And for a few days, it felt amazing. But then, nothing changed. And slowly, doubt started to creep in. Why isn't this working for me, you wonder? I'm doing everything I was told to do. You're not alone. Studies in personal development and manifestation communities reveal that nearly 90% of people give up on the law of attraction within just a few months. Not because they lack discipline or desire, but because they're unknowingly missing key pieces of the process. The truth is, you can't manifest what you don't energetically align with. And while most manifestation advice focuses on the thinking part, it often leaves out the rest, the part that actually moves the needle. So today, we're going deeper. You're going to discover the most common reasons why people fail at manifesting and what successful manifestors, from entrepreneurs to spiritual leaders, do differently. We'll explore what Bob Proctor taught about the energetic gap between wanting and being. And we'll dive into Dr. Joe Dispenza's research on how emotions, brain chemistry, and identity shape our outer reality. Because here's the real secret. It's not what you say, it's what you feel. It's not what you want, it's who you believe you are. This episode will uncover the toxic myth of think it and it will appear. Why clarity without action equals energetic stagnation. How emotional misalignment silently blocks your desires. And the simple shift that rewires your subconscious to start attracting results fast. By the end of this video, you'll understand what's actually been happening when your manifestations fail, and how to change your mental, emotional, and energetic blueprint to attract what you truly desire. Because manifestation isn't magic. It's alignment, intention, and identity working in harmony. Let's begin. One of the most pervasive misconceptions in the manifestation world is the belief that simply thinking about what you want will bring it into your life. This is often portrayed as a passive process: set an intention, feel good, and wait for the universe to deliver. But Bob Proctor, a master of mindset and manifestation, warned against this passive mentality. He often emphasized that faith without work is dead. In other words, if your actions are not in alignment with your intention, you're not truly manifesting, you're merely wishing. This is what we call the actionless myth, the idea that the universe responds to thought alone, without requiring action, energy, or alignment from you. To be clear, your thoughts are powerful. But they are only the ignition, not the engine. Without action, your thought has nowhere to go. It's like turning on the GPS but never starting the car. What most people miss is that manifestation is not separate from action. Action is part of the manifestation process. Every decision you make, every step you take, either reinforces your desired reality or distances you from it. Bob Proctor taught that you must act as if your goal were already yours. This isn't about pretending or faking success. It's about embodying the frequency of what you want to attract. Acting as if changes your habits, your self-image, your energy, and that creates new results. This is where many fail. They want to be wealthy but avoid financial education. They want love but avoid vulnerability. They want peace but remain attached to chaos. The gap between intention and behavior blocks the flow of manifestation. Now let's bring in the insights of Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Dispenza's work in neuroscience shows that thoughts are electrical and feelings are magnetic. Your thoughts set the direction, but your emotions pull reality toward you. However, for the energetic field to respond, your brain must experience coherence between your intention and your behavior. He explains that the brain is a record of the past. If your daily actions are rooted in past habits, stress, distraction, fear, then your body remains chemically addicted to your old reality. You may say, "I want success," but your subconscious still expects failure. This is why just setting intentions doesn't work. Your state of being must match your vision. That means taking action that reinforces the identity you're stepping into. Here's what action looks like in a manifestation context. Learning skills that align with your vision. Changing habits that contradict your desired future. Making decisions from the perspective of your higher self. Showing up differently in your relationships, your finances, your self-talk. These actions don't need to be massive. Micro-actions done with intention are often more powerful than big, unsustainable moves. The key is consistency, not intensity. One of Bob Proctor's most repeated teachings was the concept of paradigms, deep mental programs that control our behavior. He taught that unless we shift these paradigms through intentional repetition and aligned action, we will continue to live the same results over and over again. You can't expect to manifest a new life with the same operating system that created the old one. For example, someone who wants to manifest wealth must do more than visualize money. They must study money, manage it better, think like an investor, and seek opportunities with courage. These are aligned actions, evidence to the subconscious mind that the identity of I am wealthy is real and active. Without action, your mind remains unconvinced. And your subconscious will always choose safety over change unless you show it a new pattern. This is why many people feel blocked, not because the law of attraction doesn't work, but because they are stuck in an intention-only loop, thinking without doing, hoping without moving. Here's the key takeaway. Intentions open the door, but actions walk you through it. Every small step you take toward your goal, done with presence and purpose, sends a powerful signal to your nervous system and to the energetic field around you. Dr. Dispenza puts it this way: when you change your energy, you change your life. But changing energy often requires changing behavior. Your body must become as involved in your vision as your mind is. So if you've been visualizing but not acting, affirming but not changing, dreaming but not doing, this is the missing link. Start small. One step a day. One decision aligned with your future self. Then do it again tomorrow. Because thought alone is not enough. But thought plus aligned action? That's how you manifest transformation. Many people speak affirmations daily, hoping to attract better relationships, more money, or improved health. They say things like, I am confident, I am wealthy, or I am loved. But after weeks or months, they find themselves stuck in the same situation. Frustration grows, and they begin to question whether manifestation truly works. What they often don't realize is that while their words are pointing in one direction, their emotions are pulling in another. This is the belief gap, a space between what you say and what you truly feel inside. Joe Dispenza teaches that your inner world must reflect what you desire before your outer world can change. If your mind is saying one thing, but your body is feeling the opposite, there is no alignment. And without alignment, your energy sends a mixed signal that blocks manifestation. Let's say someone affirms, I am abundant. But while repeating those words, they feel anxious about bills, insecure about their career, or doubtful about their worth. In that moment, their emotion is not in harmony with their intention. Even if the words sound powerful, the energy behind them is not. Bob Proctor explained this simply: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you feel like someone struggling, you attract more struggle. If you feel like someone growing, you attract growth. The key isn't in the repetition, it's in the emotional agreement. Words alone do not manifest. They serve as a tool to shift focus, but only when paired with real emotional conviction. Without that emotional charge, affirmations remain empty sentences, unable to influence your deeper patterns. This is where most people get discouraged. They follow the steps, write affirmations, repeat them daily, but they skip the most important part, believing them. If you don't believe the words, your subconscious doesn't respond. You continue to operate from your familiar feelings, not your future vision. That's why starting with believable, emotionally honest affirmations is far more effective than forcing ones that feel fake. Instead of saying, I am a millionaire, someone can begin with, I am open to new financial opportunities. This feels more natural, less resistant, and it builds momentum. Belief is not something that switches on instantly. It's developed through consistency, clarity, and repetition with feeling. You speak the words, feel the meaning, and allow your body to experience the emotion tied to that new reality. Joe Dispenza emphasizes the importance of living the future before it happens. This means imagining not just the outcome you want, but also how it feels to already live it. When you say I am calm, you practice feeling calm in that moment. That feeling is what starts to rewire your inner experience. Bob Proctor often spoke about self-image. He believed that your results are always a reflection of how you see yourself. If your self-image is low, affirming success won't work unless you begin to shift the way you feel about who you are. So how do you close the belief gap? Start by noticing how you feel during and after your affirmations. Do you feel uplifted, or do you feel fake? If the affirmation doesn't resonate emotionally, change it. Adjust the words until they trigger a positive internal response. You're not lowering your standards, you're creating alignment. Next, focus on repetition with presence. It's not about how many times you say it. It's about how fully you experience it. Say it slowly, Say it intentionally. Say it while breathing deeply and visualizing a version of yourself already living that truth. Then, allow yourself to act from that energy. If you affirm confidence, walk and speak like someone confident. If you affirm clarity, make decisions from that state of mind. Your actions reinforce the belief, and the belief becomes part of your identity. As you do this, the emotional gap begins to close. You start to feel your words, not just say them. And when belief and feeling are aligned, manifestation becomes natural, not forced. Remember, you don't need to feel perfect. You just need to feel true. Even a small shift in emotion can change your energy and begin moving you toward your desires. This is how belief grows. This is how the subconscious changes. And this is how you begin to truly manifest, not just with words, but with your whole being. There's a significant shift that happens when you stop wanting something and begin to embody it. This transition, from wanting to being, is the foundation of powerful manifestation. Most people stay stuck in the energy of wanting. They say things like, I want success, I want to be confident, I want to find love. But wanting, by its very nature, affirms lack. When you want something, you are energetically acknowledging that you don't have it. This is one of the most common blocks in manifestation. You're trying to attract a new reality while continuously vibrating from the emotion of not having it. Bob Proctor explained it clearly, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. Your results in life are not a reflection of your desires, they are a reflection of your identity and vibration. To shift from wanting to being, you must begin acting, thinking, and feeling as the version of yourself who already has what you desire. This isn't pretending. It's alignment. You bring your thoughts, emotions, and actions into harmony with the version of you who lives the life you're trying to create. For example, instead of saying, I want confidence, you shift to, I am confident. Then, you act with confidence. You speak clearly, stand tall, make decisions from a place of self-trust. Over time, this repetition becomes who you are, not just what you're trying to reach. Joe Dispenza teaches that your personality creates your personal reality. The way you think, feel, and act each day is building your external world. If you keep thinking from the perspective of someone who lacks, you keep creating more lack. But when you begin thinking, feeling, and acting like the version of you who already has peace, abundance, health, or love, your reality starts to adjust to match that identity. This is why identity work is more powerful than goal setting. A goal says, one day I will. Identity says, this is who I am. And manifestation responds to who you are. To practice this, begin with clarity. Ask yourself, who do I want to be? How does that version of me feel every day? What kind of thoughts does that version think? How does that version handle challenges, make decisions, or speak? Once you're clear, you begin stepping into that version of yourself. Not all at once, but through small, consistent moments of intentional living. This is not about faking it. It's about choosing it. Choosing to act from faith instead of fear. Choosing to believe that you are becoming, not just hoping. Choosing to align your energy with the version of you that already exists within. Bob Proctor often emphasized the power of repetition. He encouraged people to write their self-image statement every day. I am so happy and grateful now that, followed by a description of the life you are creating. The more you repeat it, with belief and emotion, the more you reinforce your new identity. Repetition with feeling changes your internal blueprint. It becomes easier to believe. And as belief grows, so does your ability to take aligned action without resistance. Visualization can also support this process. Joe Dispenza recommends imagining yourself as already living the desired reality. Not just seeing it, but feeling it. Experiencing it in your mind and body so fully that your brain begins to accept it as familiar. This technique sends a signal to your subconscious, this is safe. This is who I am now. And as your body adapts to this new emotional state, your external life begins to shift. It's not about waiting for results to feel different. It's about feeling different to create results. When you move from wanting to being, everything changes. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop forcing and start flowing. Your energy becomes congruent with your vision. The more you live from this place, the more natural it feels. And the more natural it feels, the faster it becomes real. That's the shift. That's the upgrade. That's how you become the manifester. Now you understand why most people struggle with manifestation. It's not because the law of attraction doesn't work. It's because most people only use part of the process. They think, but don't act. They say, but don't feel. They want, but never become. In Chapter 1, we expose the myth of passive manifestation. Intention without action is like planting a seed and never watering it. Action is what signals commitment to your new reality. In Chapter 2, we uncovered the belief gap, the misalignment between what you affirm and what you truly feel. You now know that saying the right words isn't enough unless they're backed by emotional truth. In Chapter 3, you learn how to shift from wanting to being. Manifestation becomes effortless when your thoughts, emotions, and identity align. That's the energy that creates real change. As Bob Proctor said, you attract who you are, not what you want. As Joe Dispenza teaches, your personality creates your personal reality. So here's the challenge. Don't just understand this, live it. Start small. Choose one belief to shift. One action to take. One new identity to embody today.